What up, gang? In this video, we're going to be talking about if she is the right girl, it will be obvious. You will not even have to question it. You can flip this the other way if you date men because you're a woman, or I guess a gay man. We're inclusive around here, right? Sure. If she's the right girl, it's obvious. If he's the right guy, it should be obvious. You won't even have to question it. I think in dating, one thing that can be frustrating, at least I know I dealt with this, and I have continued to deal with this, is sometimes I'm questioning things, and I'm wondering, why do I feel a certain way? Why do I feel resistance? Why is it that I'm on a date with a girl, and I'm like, is the date going well? And I'm like sitting there having to question. It's like, bro, if you have to question whether or not the date is going well, it ain't going well. Like, it's just obvious. And I think you can get into these modes where you think it should be going well, or I should want to like this girl, or I should start dating, or I should get into a serious relationship. I should marry somebody because of external factors, what people think, what your parents expect of you, society, etc. And you want things to go a certain way. So you might be like kind of trying to brute force them. Like, I'm on this date. She's pretty cute. I guess I'll just go for it and try to take her home, or I'll go for another date. It's like, but is that even what you want to do? Like, you won't even have to question it. It won't be such a difficult thought when it's going well. Think about the last time that you really jived with somebody. Like, you were on a date, you were hanging out with someone, maybe it's just a group and you guys were like talking over in the corner, just you and them or whatever. Like, when you were really jiving, there was just chemistry and it was flow and you were attracted to them. Were you sitting there questioning like, I wonder if I like Alexis over there? It's like, you've been glued to this girl since the moment you walked in the door and everything is just flowing effortlessly. It's like, no, you don't sit there and fucking question it, right? And I think like I've had this where I've been on a date and it's like there's boxes that are checked, right? It's like, okay, she's hot, she's attractive, right? She's like, has some good qualities. Maybe, she can hold a conversation, but there's just something off. I don't know what it is, but there's not that match, there's not that chemistry, there's not that spark, there's not that fire. And I've sat there and I've been like, man, should I take her home? Is it going well? I'm like, why is this not like whatever? And I used to get so upset with myself and think, like, why is that happening? And maybe you've probably experienced this before, if you can relate to this. And it's like, dude, don't trip about it. Don't worry. You don't have fucking chemistry with that person. It's okay. There's a lot of people in this world. There's a lot of dating prospects. There's a lot of people that you could end up with, right? I think the same thing applies at any stage of the relationship. And I'm just going to say girl here because I date girls, and that's just the example. But it's like, if you have to ask yourself, if you want to date a girl seriously or not, you're in the talking phase, or you're just hooking up, or like you've been on a few dates or whatever. If you have to like really sit there and question, you're really like, you're scratching your chin. Maybe you're like thinking about writing a pros and cons list or like all this shit. It's like, the answer is no. Like, when it's the right girl, when it's the right person for you, when it's blatantly obvious, like when everything is just flowing and it's going good, do you really have to sit there and question? No, you don't. If you have to ask yourself, if you want to marry a girl, like, should I marry her? Like, I don't know. Like, is she the right one? Probably not. Because, like, when it is the right girl, when you and this girl are going to get in a serious relationship, you're going to get married. Like, it's going there. It's perfect. It's jive. It's chemistry. It's flow. Like, I don't think, and take this with a grain of salt, I haven't seriously dated tons of women, and I also have never bbeen married. But still, it's like, doesn't that just make sense, right? Like, drop it in the comment if you agree or if you disagree with me. And I want to tell a story here. This is like I don't know if it's like a parable or like there's this mini story or whatever, but it's the story of the fence between heaven and hell. Stick around with me, bear with me. This is a very short story and it's going to kick you in the teeth. The story goes, basically you have heaven and hell on either side, and there's a fence in the middle, and there's all these people sitting on the fence. And Jesus walks up from the heaven side. He walks up to the fence. He starts telling all the people why heaven is the best place to go and why they should come. And they just jump off one by one, and they follow Jesus over to heaven. And then one guy is still sitting on the fence. Everyone else has hopped over and left to heaven. Jesus gives up. He heads back and he starts walking towards heaven. And then the guy's still sitting on the fence, and the devil walks up from hell, and he goes, "All right, there it is. Come on over here to hell." And the guy sitting there is, "Oh, wait, hang on. I'm like, "Oh, no, I haven't decided yet. I'm still on the fence." And the devil looks at him and goes, "The fence is mine." And that right there, I love so much, because it's like, if you can't decide, if you are on the fence, it's a no. Like, if you're sitting there between the fence, like, to run out the story, and Jesus is coming up to you and he's telling you all the reasons why you should join to heaven, and you're still sitting there on the fence, like, you belong in hell. Like, not like you're a horrible person, right, in like the real world, but it's like, if you're on the fence, the answer is no. Think about that next time you have a hard decision, or you're questioning, or you're going back and forth, and it's like, shouldn't it just be automatic? Shouldn't it just be easy? Now, I know there's nuance. I'm not to say that you should never have a hard decision. You should never make a pros and cons list. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, I think a lot of times there's a struggle, there's a hesitation, there's a weird feeling, there's a questioning, and sometimes we don't want it to be there, because maybe there's something in the back of us. It's like, well, maybe I should just marry this girl. We've been dating for 5 years. Or like, well, you know what? I've been really lonely recently, and maybe maybe I should take it seriously with this girl, But you're still just questioning. You're hesitating. It's like, if you're on the fence, the answer is no. Do you agree? Do you disagree? This one was kind of just saying the same thing over and over again, so I apologize. But if you made it this far, I appreciate it. Drop it down in the comment. Join the conversation down below. Am I spot on? Have you felt this before? Have you experienced it? Have you not? Am I way off? What is it? Let me freaking know in the comments. I encourage you to blast your thoughts and join the conversation. Thanks for watching. Cheers.